if we spend all of our time doing what we do every single day, we got to be better at playing the game. And playing the game is studying the material. Nothing's wrong with a recession calendar, right? But knowing if it's right or not. How do you really look at the recession calendar to make sure it's right? Well, in my day and age, I had an escrow and title signing service check me because the date was wrong. They said it was the notary fault, right? Meaning it's our responsibility to make sure that the date is wrong. Some people will say yes, some people will say no, okay? But what I want to say is just protect yourself to make sure you don't have to go back out and get yelled at or it has something to do with your funds. Just make sure that recession date is correct, okay? In other words, if it is April the 1st, right, it's the closing date, then if I pull up my calendar right now, day 1 will be April the 2nd, which is a Saturday. April the 4th will be the second day. April the 5th will be the last day by midnight. And then they will fund, long as this is considered a refinance. This is a refinance. This is not a purchase. Purchase, they don't have the right to cancel. Okay? Refinance, they have the right to cancel. But guess what else, you guys? Notary hat, make sure you have your stuff written down. If it's a second property or investment property on the occupancy, you do not have the right to cancel. So there's no reason for you to look for an RTC because that's not how the rules and the policy are. So now that we know that, we do better, right? We do better. Now we know better. All right, cool. Let's keep going. All right, next. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat and actually just write them out. And I hope that this is helpful. If it's helpful, go ahead and put a 3 in the chat. Put a 3 in the chat if you're listening and you think some of this information is relevant. All right, so let's keep going. So right here in this situation, I will put in this section a RTC. I'm going to play with my let's see, I don't see the option. All right, but this one will be the I got to highlight it. So right here, am I highlighted right? This is the area right here, right above that and right here. And what if it's wrong? Okay, we let them know that, hey, the closing date is not correct, right? Cross it out. You have them initial and you put the right date. And then you make sure that your recession calendar state the right date. But remember, in our world, Sundays is a federal holiday. In our world, Saturday is considered a business day. So you count Monday through Saturday. Make sense? All right, cool. Now, you just got to figure out the rest. If you don't have a recession calendar later, I'll put one from the NNA, okay? Sponsored by the NNA on the website for a recession calendar. Let me do it right now because I think that will be helpful. As we go, you get your recession calendar for 2022. It is the first day of quarter 2 of 2022. If you don't have a recession calendar, it's always good to know where you can get it, okay? From the NNA. And if you don't know what the NNA is, it's the National Notary Association. What kind of protects us and look out for us. So I'm pulling up 2022 recession calendar. It's always kind of good to have just because some federal holidays, you won't even think they're federal holidays, right? So for example, do we have any holidays coming up in April? Let's see. No federal holidays in April, okay? But there are federal holidays in May, which is Memorial Day. So just watch out for that as it's still related to quarter 2, okay? So I have it right here. If you're part of the Zoom, I'll check out and I'm giving you the recession calendar from the internet. All right, perfect. So let's keep going. Now we have the note. The note is so important. Some people walk through this note, some people don't walk through the note. But in this situation, the note is so important. It's number 3. Put a 3 in the chat, you guys. If you're on, put a 3 in the chat. Put a 3 in the chat because we're on the 3rd critical document, all right, which is the note. With the note, it's very important for you to say, this is your promise to pay, all right? And one of the things that I make sure of, I'm going to try to put it in yellow here, is that The note, this is important, is the date. The first day that they have to pay. And how many of you guys know that the impound, the voluntary impound, will not be in the note? Because that's voluntary impound. That's volunteering money for them to have escrow take care of their what? Property tax and homeowners insurance. So that's not the money that they're borrowing. So the note specifically will not reflect that. Okay, makes sense. So the amount may be different. Let's go to the next page. Remember when I said, what was my rule of thumb? My special rule of thumb. If you're my student, you know that this is one of the things I say. And if you're watching this, you know that there's a huge thing I say is it's okay to oversign. It's okay to over initial, but it's not okay to do what? Go ahead, put it in chat. It's not okay to do what? I want the chat to be blown up, okay? Go ahead and blow that chat up. What is the answer to my equation? It's not okay to overdate. So if you're looking on Zoom right now, the documents, what do you see? There's no place to date. Because why? The note don't want to date. But it has a little crazy little thing. It says seal. Seal is just a word in Italian, means signature. So don't let that throw you off. So if you're a good notary, you know better. So therefore you're going to do better. Excellent. So you don't have to worry about that. All right, let's keep going. We have one of the fourth critical documents. Go ahead and put 4 in the chat, okay? 4 in the chat, 4 in the chat. All right, I see a lot of 4s going. All right, now it's called the deed of trust. Deed of trust. This is one of the important ones. I'm gonna give you a notary hack because no one ever pay attention to the second page. The second page is very important, okay? And so as